Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center live stream. Today I'm gonna live stream with this Greninja BREAK deck. So this is the deck list that I used in my live Battle League Cup video that I recently uploaded on my YouTube channel. Just in case, for those who asked for the deck list, this is the deck list that I used actually in that video when I beat the guy who played that Ultra Necrozma Melmar deck. So yeah, I'm a very huge fan of Greninja. As you can see, I played a lot of Greninja, and this was the build that I used at that local league. Unfortunately, I only lost one game due to the goalie support because of the weakness. But to be honest, it was a very intense matchup. It's not that I got destroyed by it, you know. But anyways, this is the deck list. As you can see, it's a 4-4-4-3 standard lineup with Froakie with the bubble, Frogadier with the water duplicate, Shadow Stitching Greninja, and the Greninja BREAK with the John Water Shuriken. And in addition to that, I also played a single Remoraid and Octillery copy and 2 Staryus and 1 Starmie. So that was the Pokemon lineup, 20 Pokemons in total. Some other cards that I included in this build was 2 copies of Evosoda featuring 2 Timer Balls and 4 Ultra Balls with also 3 Brooklet Hills. So there was a lot of different and easy ways to set up my Greninjas very easily, because I also played 2 copies of Rare Candy as well in this build. Max Potion was a tech card, as well as the Rescue Stretcher ×2, so 2 of each of these 2 cards has also been used in this build. And also 3 copies of Choice Band without retreating cards or maybe even Sign of the Guzma. I decided to play 7 regular Water Energies and 3 Splash Energies. But for just, you know, today's video, I'm gonna try to test with 4 Splash and 6 regular energy cards. And there was also only 4 Cynthias and 4 Ns in this build as well, and that's the deck list that I'm gonna use on today's live stream. So yeah, let's see how this deck will work in action. So starting with the game number 1. I can already say that this deck is gonna be very good, no doubt about it. I mean, Greninja is still good these days. Even if you face Garbodor, you can easily beat it. Alright, so I'm gonna play against the Psychic deck. If it's gonna be Ultra Necrozma, or if it's just gonna be a regular Necrozma because of the Psychic type at the loading screen, I'm probably gonna win this match really easy, because I can just, you know, use 1 Shadow Stitching and that's it, the game is done. I don't see how my opponent can recover from that. But yeah, we're not gonna try to disrespect our opponent. We're gonna go with that Brooklet Hill, and that Brooklet Hill is gonna be for another Froakie. More than that, I'm gonna attach that energy from my hand and pass the turn. So as you can see, next turn I have 2 different options available. The first one is to go with a Rare Candy to my Greninja, and the second one is to go with a Frogadier. So far I'm thinking I'm just gonna go with that, you know, Frogadier Water Duplicate play. And there's a Cynthia play for my opponent as well. And a Mystery Treasure. Alright, so let's see. For the first Tapu Lele, since he played that Cynthia, there's not gonna be Bridget, that's for sure. So there's the Ultra Ball, it might be for another Inkay. And it is. Alright, fair enough. So Tapu Lele, will it be for Bridget or for something else? I don't know. I know that I don't have Draw Support available, so whatever he take, I can knock it from his hand anyway. So there's a Hypnosis, so he can put my Froakie to the sleep condition. And my top deck is a Frogadier, so that's an interesting thing. Since I top decked that Frogadier, I think I'm just gonna go with that Rare Candy evolution. There we go, and then I'm gonna Moonlight Slash my opponent, basically for like a 80. Okay, no need to Shadow Stitch. I get lucky with that rare candy, there's just no question about it, and there's also Brooklet Hill, so far so good. I still think how running only 6 basic energy cards might be a little bit problematic, especially if you can't discard them and can't have them each turn, so that's the biggest problem. Anyways, the best thing my opponent can do, probably he's not gonna be even able to attack this turn. He might not be even able to attack this turn, so there's a Flowstone. Actually, okay, with the Flowstone he can, but probably he's just gonna, you know, try to use that in counter. I don't know, maybe Hypnosis was a better option. It really depends what he have available in his hand, so there's a downwing Necrozma. I know that I only need one thing, and that's just, you know, Shadow Stitch, and that's it. The game is done. I mean, against my opponent deck that he's playing, I only need that one Shadow Stitch. And once I use the Shadow Stitch, Melamar cannot use Psychic Recharge, Mew cannot use Memories of Down, Tapu Lele cannot use Wonder Tag, so you can't even use that Invasion. You can't do nothing. I mean, you're just abused by ability, and you need to somehow charge 3 energies to your Necrozma in order to one-hit knock out that Greninja. And what's also very bad about this downwing Necrozma is the fact that even with the Dark Flash, you know, you can just go for like 120. So even with Dark Flash, you can't one-hit knockout this Greninja without Fighting Fury Belt. So you definitely need Fighting Fury Belt. But this deck can actually run maybe single or double copy of Fighting Fury Belt and wouldn't be that bad, you know. Because you can just, you know, one-hit knockout possible anyway, but you're not going to be able to maybe knock out with the single shot with 3 energies some other Pokemons, like for example, I don't know, let's say Lycanroc GX, you know. So there's another Frogadier as a top deck, so it looks like I'm going to be able to set those Frogadiers, you know, just by playing them from my hand, which is amazing. More than that, I'm just ready to go with another Shadow Stitching, hitting my opponent for like a 40 and taking another prize card. So there you go, there's a Water Energy. Something like a Timer Ball is gonna be the best possible thing for me. I don't even need that draw supporter, that's for sure. I mean, logically I need to set that Octillery, and just in case of the late game end. Literally, that's the only thing that I need. So there's Lunala. Okay, so actually, Full Moon Star can potentially bring a little bit of hope to my opponent, because that Lunala can then simply, you know, attach a couple energies to his Pokemons in play. But still, I'm just gonna go with that Shadow Stitch for now. Probably, it really depends. I wish I can find that Greninja top deck. Nope, just another Max Potion top deck. So it's time for that Remoraid to hit the bench. Okay, there we go. It can definitely go somewhere. I'm just gonna go with another Shadow Stitch this turn, you know, so just in case of that invasion. I really don't want to let my opponent opportunity to use that invasion. He can probably use the Moon Eclipse GX, you know, and jump to the active position with the Flowstone Retreat, and then hit me for like 180. He can do that because he have less prize cards available than I. And there's a Flowstone, so he just needs 1 energy card, so this might actually happen. But even if that happens, I'm just gonna go with Shadow Stitch. Shadow Stitch should apply. I mean, it should apply. Moon Eclipse can only prevent the effect to the active Necrozma. So let's just do this. Let's go with the Frogadier to the active position. Staryu is a top deck, which is a very nice top deck as well. Alright, so I'm ready to go with the Greninja, and that's gonna be another Shadow Stitching. Okay, this Pokemon can't use ability, because Shadow Stitch applies to your opponent Pokemons, you know, in play. And basically Moon Eclipse can only prevent effect done to the downwind Necrozma. So there's a Pearl City. Okay, I think I'm gonna discard probably Staryu. No, I really want to keep that Octillery in play if I can find it. So Abyssal Hand is a really nice ability. There's just no question about it. Okay, so that was Sycamore. As you can see, my opponent have only 8 cards left. So he somehow needs to power up. Oh, there we go. So there's a Dark Flash. And what can he do with that Dark Flash? Not too much, because I have Max Potion available in my hand, you know. With that Max Potion I can simply heal the damage, and I can use another Shadow Stitch. You know, I'm just gonna go with another Shadow Stitch because I don't want to let my opponent the opportunity to attach 2 energies to use that Prismatic Burst. Next turn I can definitely try to apply more pressure with my Moonlight Slash, due to the fact that he will probably have 3 energy manually attached anyway, so I'm just gonna try to apply as much pressure as I can. But if he beats energy attachment this turn, another Shadow Stitching will just hit the play, and I'm just gonna use another Max Potion, and that's very frustrating. But so far there was like 5 or 6 turns, 7 turns, I'm not sure how many turns there was from my side that I turned 14, so probably 7 turns from my side that I didn't even pull a single energy card, a single Drought Supporter, which is just insane. Not even Ultra Ball or maybe Timer Ball or maybe Evosoda. I'm running all of these cards, but I simply can't get any of them. So finally Evosoda, which means that I can grab that Octillery, so I can have that Abyssal Hand available. That was very important top deck. More than that, this is also gonna be one Rescue Stretcher play. So I'm gonna reshuffle back those Pokemon so I can have clear Abyssal Hand for 5. There we go. So if I can find Greninja Break, who knows, I might be able to pull even more prize cards. So 2 more Greninjas for me. There's also Choice Band and Greninja Break as well, plus that end, so I can refresh my hand. And who knows what else I can get. Let's go with the M. Pretty much nothing else. So thinking about hitting him with the Moonlight Slash for like 110, because next turn I can simply throw one John Water Shuriken and knock out my opponent Necrozma on the bench, and that's insane. And after that I'm just gonna need to take 2 more prize cards, so it's not gonna be that hard. So there's another N. Alright, I really like it. I really need to get that Field Blower so I can discard my opponent's Stadium from play. So far I couldn't get one. So yeah, the current meta is really boring. I mean, mainly Buzzwole is been played, you know. Many people just, you know, play that Buzzwole deck. Personally, I don't like it. I don't see nothing special in Buzzwole, and to be honest, I don't even have cards to use the Buzzwole deck. Will I get cards in the future? To be honest, I don't know, but Buzzwole is a very good deck. It's a powerful, it's a strong deck, you know, there's just no doubt about it, but I don't like it. I really like and I really enjoy playing this type of decks, you know, especially in the live game. It's much more fun to play something like Greninja than Buzzwole. So I didn't hit energy card. Wow, that's amazing. That's just amazing. Oh, seriously? Okay, never mind. I wanted to click on that Brooklet Hill, but I was just too fast, you know. When Sun and Moon came out, you know, I don't know, when the Sun and Moon came out, the whole meta shifted, you know. Those GX Pokemons were just, you know, crazy. That new Tapu Lele was, you know, $50–60 card. Mainly, if you wanted to play with it, you need to have like, how many? You need to have like 2 or 3 of them, you know. Shamies were not in the format back then. I mean, there's always a couple expensive cards that just, you know, people cannot afford to get. I know a lot of players that can simply afford them, that type of the cards, you know. That's why I always like to build some budget decks as well and cover those budget builds so players can also try to play with them and try to step into game as well. So yeah, we have John Water Shuriken for victory here, basically because I can snipe on the bench and I can knock out my opponent to win this game by taking 4 prize cards in just a single turn. This is the beauty of Greninja Break deck. I mean, simply it is. Right now we also have the Greninja GX, which I'm not a huge fan of it. It's a good card, but when you need to use those double cores energies, you know, it can easily be disrupted by Enhanced Hammer. So far so good. Game number 1, win number 1, so let's just move on to the game number 2. I mean, yeah, I played Greninja from the breakpoint when it was released, you know, and I played till today, so I'm very loyal to the Greninja deck. So if you play the Darkrai deck, today you simply don't have chance to play Darkrai deck. I used to play a lot by myself Darkrai Giratina deck, you know, with the Max Elixirs and the energy switches, you know. I always tried to build something different from other players, you know, and I remember that time that deck was just, you know, powerful. But today top 3 decks probably are, you know, okay, let's just first grab that Froakie. I don't know, in my opinion, top 3 decks today's rest of the hand looks just bad, so I'm gonna definitely first retreat. Boswell is definitely top 3 deck. You also have that, I don't know, in standard format there's a lot of good decks, especially today when we have this Ultra Necrozma GX. I mean, Ultra Necrozma is also gonna be good. I mean, Lucario GX is also a good deck, you know. In my opinion, Boswell is probably the best deck in format, you know, with the Ansi and with the Regirock, because with 1 energy you can do so many damage counters. And mainly all other decks are somewhere in the middle, you know. There's just way too many decks that are probably somewhere in the middle, you know. And it's really hard to judge, you know, and say the top 3 decks in my opinion. Okay, so there's a Cynthia play. Again, the same matchup, again the same thing I need to do. I basically just need one thing, literally. I don't need more than one thing here, so this is literally all I need. That's gonna be a Ultra Ball play, basically for that Octillery. Then I'm gonna, you know, attach my energy to my Froakie, play Rescue Stretcher and a Beazle Hand for 4, and basically only Evosoda or Timer Ball or Frogadier is all I really need. Then I can expand my bench with the Frogadiers, you know, with a lot more frogs. And there it is, perfect. I'm not gonna gamble with the Cynthia, just not to... Actually, I will. Why not? Even if I draw 1 Frogadier, I can always, you know, play it. Oh, that's amazing. Let's go with the Water Duplicate for 2 more Frogadiers. Okay, so next turn I can have Rare Candy Greninja play and probably N. Probably I'm just gonna go with something like that. Alright, so even if my opponent can take first knockout, you know, that's probably gonna be it. That's just probably gonna be it. looks like how my opponent decided to concede. So I'm gonna say Don't Explore, thanks a lot for being the sponsor. I just don't know what that means here on the YouTube, to be honest. I have no clue. So we have 2 victories in a row, beating 2 same decks with this Greninja build. So let's move on to the game number 3. Well, if there's no goalie support in the standard format, I think how probably Greninja would be a top tier deck in my opinion, you know. It's a 1 price attacker and it can easily beat any other deck in the format. It only loses to that goalie support, and it loses very easy to goalie support, you know, because it's just too fast. Zoroark is not a problem, you know. In my opinion, Zoroark is not a big problem for Greninja, you know. Especially in the late game when you can end any Zoroark deck to 1 or 2 cards and simply Shadow Stitch them. I beat my friend, he played that Gardevoir GX deck. He had 3 Guardians on the 2 Guardians on the bench, 1 in active position. He also had that Sylveon GX, you know, and he used his Sylveon GX attack, and he scooped 2 of my Greninja breaks from my bench. I end him down to only 1 card and I Shadow Stitch him. And that was it. He was not able to recover from that. So there we go, there's a boss ball. I'm not using Tapu Fini, I'm not using Espion, I'm not using Tapu Lele. They're good techs, you know, definitely. But I'm a type of the player that plays, if it's possible, you know, Pokemons that just a pure non-GX list, you know, because if you start with Tapu Lele, you're not gonna be able to retreat, and that's not good, you know. So I just don't like them, you know. Tapu Fini, it's a good because of that first attack that can hit and retreat. It's good for that 1 energy GX scoop, but I simply don't like it, you know. I just prefer not to play them. So interesting hand. That's just interesting hand. I don't even think it's worth to play that Ultra Ball. I mean, I need to use it because I don't want to gamble not being able to find, you know, what I need. If I miss Pokemon, that's it. The game is lost. So all I can do is literally play that N and hope for that Brooklet Hill play and at least 1 energy card. So no sign of the Brooklet Hill, but at least I have that Splash Energy available. I'm not gonna try to bother bubbling my opponent. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to do that. I'm just gonna hit him with the smack for like a 20. And that's gonna be it. Okay, so there is the Tapu Lele play with the Guzma. So he definitely wants to get rid of that Froakie from the bench, no question about it. He have more than enough available resources to do that. He can hit for 70, so even if I have 70 HP Froakie, the same thing would be. I guess I did mistake when I didn't try to gamble, you know. Never mind. Let's go with another Ultra Ball. Let's grab another Froakie and let's just hit our opponent again with the smack for 20. I'm hoping for the good strong top deck, which is gonna be something like Cynthia or N. He catch me with that Guzma, and there's another Tapu Lele, so he definitely wants to go for another Guzma play. Well, yeah, that's just a GG due to the bad start. Couldn't get that Brooklet Hill early in the game, and that's the reason why I actually lost this game, just in my opinion. Sometimes playing TCGO this can happen, but when I play in real life that never happened. This deck contains actually, we can count, I mean, it contains 3 Brooklet Hills, it contains 4 Ultra Balls, and it contains 7 basic Pokemon. So that's like 14 possibilities to pull what you need, you know. And right now I'm just breaking, I can't get any of these cards, so that's gonna be GG. But who knows, maybe still miracle can happen. Maybe still miracle can happen, I don't know. Everything's possible. There's another nest, there's another Boswell on my opponent bench with the Nest Ball and the Energy and Strong. Okay, Mr. Treasure for Garbodor. Yeah. He can one-hit knock on my Staryu with a Jet Punch. Nah, well played. That's just GG. I'm not gonna bother my opponent anymore and waste my time. Splash Energy was a top deck, so yeah, anyways, that's GG. I think how I should probably take the gamble with that bubble and try to paralyze him. If I won the coin flip that time, who knows, the game would go in a completely different direction. Right now I know that I just need to bubble my opponent instead of just, you know, retreating and trying to hide on the bench. Alright, so I lost the coin flip and we are moving on to the game number 4. So far 2 victories and 1 defeat. 2 victories against that Psychic version of Necrozma GX deck. Okay, there's one Froakie. For those who's watching on YouTube, you can also follow me on the Twitch. I would really appreciate if you hit that follow button on the Twitch. You can, you know, basically find the link in the video description. It's 30-second work to do, you know. I really appreciate if you do that. Probably I'm gonna do some giveaway in the future on the Twitch and also here on the YouTube on my live streams. Just need more publicity. Mr. Mime for the bench. To be honest, I originally included Mr. Mime on the bench, and basically later I just decided to remove him. And the only reason why I decided to remove him from play was due to the fact that I expected not to play against too many Boswells, and at the end I faced that Tapu Koko Honker deck at my local league, which was, you know, nightmare for me. I won the first game and I lost the second game, so we actually end up by the draw, so that was just insane. Anyways, there is a Zoroark for my opponent, so even if I had that heads on the coin flip, it wouldn't change things dramatically, you know, because of the when you evolve your Pokemon. Let's say you have basic Pokemon in the active position and that Pokemon is paralyzed or affected by any other special condition like poison, confuse, burn, asleep, and or paralyzed. You can have one of these 5 combinations. You know, you can simply remove that effect by evolving that Pokemon to other Pokemon. Nice. There's a Frogadier, there's Staryu, there's Ultra Ball, and there's also Pearl City. I hate this card so much. And there's the double Course Energy as well. For that Radius Beating, I can put that Froakie back to my hand. Yeah, I'm gonna need one card so badly. First things first, right? That Ultra Ball should go for a Remoraid. And then I'm gonna play that Cynthia. I wish I can find energy in Stadium. Oh, come on, are you kidding me? I didn't get any of these 2 cards? Well, I'm actually mad right now. That's how you don't win with this deck. If you miss energy with Greninja, that's nearly lost, you know. It's still very early in the game, so I can still, you know, afford myself not to attaching energy and not finding that water duplicate. It's still okay. I mean, it's not that my opponent already took like 5 prize cards, so if he moves down to 3 prize cards and I still don't have Greninja breaking play, it's still okay. It's still, you know, not the end of the world. So there's another Radius Beating for only 80. Those Rockruffs cannot be one-hit knocked out, unfortunately. So thank you guys for following on the Twitch, I really appreciate that. Okay, so I have Staryu as a top deck and Evosoda, so I'm gonna go with Octillery Evolution. I'm not gonna bother benching, actually I'm gonna bother benching that Staryu on the bench, and I'm gonna hit my opponent by the end. Oh boy. Okay, at least I have Brooklet Hill available, so I might be able still to pull that energy card. At least I hope. So Choice Band, Timer Ball, which needs to be a heads on the coin flip, at least one of them, so I can pull that Frogadier and put it onto my active Froakie. And after that, I simply need to get energy so I can, you know, use that Water Duplicate. How many energies I can find? Only one, which is more than enough. And I'm gonna Water Duplicate for 2 more frogs on my bench. There we go. Okay, so next turn I'm hunting that Rare Candy if it's possible, because that can be very nice play. Then I can evolve from my Froakie to my Greninja. There is the trade. So as I said, even if I move down to only, you know, even if my opponent moves down to 3 prize cards, it's still not problematic. This actually is. So I'm gonna discard Staryu, and once again I'm gonna discard my... I'm gonna go with Octillery. Actually, I'm already set up, so I'm not gonna need it for now. I'm just gonna, you know, discard him. Okay, so one thing is for sure. He can return knockout with that Lycanroc on the bench. One turn without... Okay, finally something good. Actually, I'm gonna shuffle 3 Pokemons back. I'm gonna shuffle Frogadier, Froakie, and one more Froakie. Actually, I'm gonna reshuffle Staryu better. Then I'm gonna go with the Cynthia. Okay, there's Greninja. A very important Greninja. And also that Pearl City can be removed. I don't have too many available resources. What I definitely need is another Greninja in play, but I'm gonna pay a very expensive price if I decide to go with that Ultra Ball, and I don't think how this is smart actually. So I'm thinking just about Shadow Stitching his Zork and passing the turn. At least, you know, for now. I can't afford myself to lose 2 more energy cards. I simply can't do that. Literally, that would be disaster. So he put Tapu Lele on the bench and Kukui in order to one-hit knock out my Greninja with his reduced bidding for like a 140. That's a very nice play. And right now, something like an N would be a Dreaming top deck. There's a Rare Candy, so it's not that bad top deck, to be honest. Not at all. What else I can do? I can play one more Ultra Ball to get another Greninja in play. And basically just play Cynthia. If there was an N, whole different story would happen, because I would end my opponent down to 2 cards. But next turn I can actually end him down to only 1 card. And who knows what can happen after that. So we have Rescue Stretcher available as well, and one more Froakie. And I feel how right now is exactly right time to reshuffle back that Froakie lineup, and also Octillery. And Shadow Stitching needs to happen, so this time for 70. There we go. Next turn one John Water Shuriken can do the job, but probably that's just not gonna happen. There is the Ultra Ball for another Zora probably. So he managed to knock me out by that Lycanroc Claw Slash. An interesting thing is the fact that I simply don't have that Draw Supporter neither energy available, and I can only pass the turn and still hope for the best. But I already have like 6 Draw Supporters in my discard pile. Something is not going good today. Suddenly, oh, just the Brooklet Hill. Sadly, I can't do too much. I can just, you know, retreat to another Greninja. I wish I had Rescue Stretcher to do something, but I can basically pass the turn and let my opponent knock out my Greninja for his last prize card. So I didn't take a single prize card, which is amazing. Fair enough, I should say. Hopefully this is the same deck, so I can revenge, but probably it's not. Probably it's just, you know, the Garchomp. Losing when they put Octillery in the active position, you're just done. You know, you can't do too much. When they do that, you can't retreat. You don't have option to retreat. You can just basically manually attach 2 energy cards. But it's not that I'm putting Octillery, you know, from the beginning of the game. If I don't start with if I start with the Remoraid, I just wait for a perfect time to put Octillery in play. You know. Playing Octillery could be very sensitive for this deck, so usually I just active Octillery in the late game, mid to late game, when my opponent already took like a couple prize cards, and then I actually try to activate it. Before that, I just don't bother doing it, because it's not worth it, especially in the early game, because your opponent can simply, you know, disrupt you, and then you're not going to be able to set up. So when your opponent already took like 3 to 4 prize cards, then you're just going on with Octillery evolving, and that's pretty much it. Then you're just adding him down to 2 cards, applying Shadow Stitching, and doing other stuff that you need to do. So there we go with a Timer Ball. Let's see if we can get hands on that coin flip for that Frogadier. Yes, I can. Alright, I think I'm probably just gonna go... Tell you what, I'm just gonna go with the Water Duplicate. Because I have Timer Ball, potentially next turn I can have like 3 frogs in play, so I don't need to rush anywhere. Maybe I did a mistake because I didn't play that Ultra Ball for 1 more Froakie, so I can have potential Rare Candy into Greninja. We're just not gonna go fast. Let's just go slowly. Let's be patient. So there is the Ultra Ball for my opponent's out of the field, so he definitely wants to get... Yeah, Turbo Assault can go for 80, so my Frogadier will be knocked out. What he wants to do, he definitely wants to grab himself a Lucario with that Pregnative Aura, whatever it's called. A little bit harder to pronounce because I'm not 100% positive how to pronounce it right. And then he can search his deck for any card, so that's the free computer search, you know. That ability is a free computer search. But once I manage to Shadow Stitch him, those abilities are not going to be effective anymore, and that's just, you know, a huge disadvantage for this deck. So he actually have 2 Lucarios right now, and he can use 2 Computer Surge per turn. But again, I just said like a couple seconds ago, once I hit him with the Shadow Stitching, the game for him is basically, I wouldn't say over, but it's almost over. Okay, so Turbo Assault can do 80. I don't know, they printed new Froakie with 70 HP, and they printed Frogadier with like 80. Makes 0 sense. The reason why they doing that is due to the Buzzwole Jet Punch, you know, just because with the NC and strong energy, Buzzwole can hit hard. And this is the reason why they putting 70 HP to the current printed, you know, staple basic Pokemons. Even Rockruff was printed like 70 HP. Oh, 2 heads on the coin flip, meaning that I can pull 2 Greninjas. That's insane. And more than that, I'm gonna hit that end. Shadow Stitch is basically the only thing that I need. There we go. It's time for the Rescue Stretcher, so I can reshuffle back my Froakie and Frogadier, and then I can easily grab Froakie with the Brooklet Hill, put it on the bench. Nope, I need Froakie, thank you. Retreat Shadow Stitch, you know, hitting for 70, preventing my opponent from being able to set up, and next turn I'm just gonna try to start sniping his bench. He's playing this Ascension Gable, and those Gables can easily be, you know, sniped by the John Water Shuriken, so Greninja Break is just a lot more faster and stronger and better than the Garchomp deck, you know, especially in the mirror match, you know, so there's just no question who's gonna win this game. I don't know how Greninja needs to start badly to lose to the Garchomp deck. I simply don't know that, because Shadow Stitching is just way too much. And he even do me a favor here. He attached the energy to the Gable, you know, hoping that I'm not gonna be able to snipe him. Yeah, there's a Field Blower. I'm gonna lose Brooklet Hill. To be honest, I don't need it anymore. I don't see a reason why he is discarding the Choice Band, because, you know, if you don't play supporter card, you don't even need to bother doing that. There we go, there's Greninja Break. Plus another energy and N, so I'm hoping for just 1 energy card, which I couldn't get. Yeah, sometimes it actually happens. I'm not gonna let him knocking out my Greninja Break. I'm just gonna retreat. So yeah, I missed the opportunity to use a John Water Shuriken. And that's because I'm running 4 Splash Energies instead of the 3. In original deck, I used to play 7-3. Yeah, that smile was, you know, I don't know what to say about that smile. I couldn't get that. Oh, okay, I don't know why I didn't activate that Remoraid on the bench. I'm just asking myself why I didn't do that. Right now with that Ultra Ball, I could have that. Never mind, it's okay. I still Shadow Stitch my opponent all night long, so as long as I can Shadow Stitch him, he's not gonna be able to use that Precognitive Aura, and with that Aura, he can't do too much. There's another Garchomp. This is the Cynthia's Garchomp, who actually needs 3 energies in order to attack. The good thing for me is also the fact that I can Ultra Ball next turn for Starmie. for example. And I can grab myself that water energy from my discard pile and put it into my hand. So I can at least show one John Water Shuriken. There's a Turbo Assault this time for 80. There we go, a lot of damage. Imagine Supporter as a top deck. Actually, there is Energy as a top deck. So with that being said, Energy top deck. You know, then I'm actually going to retreat. And John Water Shuriken his active Garchomp. So I can force him to promote maybe other Garchomp who can easily then be sniped for 40. And next turn I'm in a position to use that Ultra Ball for that Starmie. But for now, I'm just keep going with the Shadow Stitching. So if he knocks me out, that's actually good for me, because I will have 4 cards more in my hand, and it will be much easier to use that Ultra Ball for Starmie. So I can recover those water energies from my discard pile back into my hand, and then I can throw some Shurikens. Okay, so was that Ascension? Oh, it actually was Ascension play. This Ultra Ball tolls everything. Oh, no sign of the Starmie, which means I need to retreat onto my Greninja. But okay, I have 4 Greninjas in play, which is insane, you know, it's an insane amount of Greninjas in play. I'm thinking about using another Shadow Stitching. I simply can't afford myself letting my opponent to use any 2 cards. He can't have that knockout against my Greninja. There's just, you know, he can have it. He needs to take 1 prize card, you know. I just need to top deck that energy card so I can start applying those John Water Shurikens. So far I'm just unlucky because also my Starmie is prized. So that's making a lot of problems to me. I don't know if he plays any copy of Enhanced Hammer in his deck. I really don't know. What's gonna be top deck? Rare Candy is a top deck. What's gonna be top deck? Rare Candy is a top deck. Okay, it's time for the Remoraid, so at least I can put that Remoraid right now on the bench. And again, it needs to be Shadow Stitching play. It needs to be. Alright, at least we have that Octillery potentially with couple next turns. I'm just wondering where are my supporter cards. If I don't top deck soon something like energy or supporter card, I'm not gonna be in a good position anyway. So Royal Blade for the knockout. He hits me for like 100. Good thing is that I can return those Greninjas back to my hand. Well, I can go for another Froakie. I don't know if he has Cynthia available, but he will have Cynthia right now available, that's for sure. And I'm just gonna retreat onto my Froakie and pass the turn. I'm okay with that Greninja on the bench, because even if he have Guzma available, he can try to hit it for 100. I can use Max Potion or retreat for free. Right now we're actually in a very difficult position. There are so many cards that I have available. Look at this. I have 3 more Ultra Balls, I have 2 more Evosodas. That's 5 cards, plus I also have 3 more Cynthias and 2 Ents. That's 10 different cards. And if we count 21 cards left in the deck, that's a 50% chance to pull any of these cards that's gonna give me the chance to pull Octillery in play. Which is insane. Which is just insane. Plus I also have like 4 more energy cards. So something definitely needs to happen as a top deck, and it needs to happen very soon. It needs to happen like next turn immediately. I completely agree with you, Rick Sisu, for putting that Octillery in play much earlier, but you know, it turns out that I just, you know, underestimate my opponent. Basically when you underestimate your opponent and his deck, this happens, you know. This happens. You can't disrespect anyone. When you disrespect somebody, you're not gonna be good. So he's trying to get something in play with that Lucario. So this is a very long battle, and I'm still waiting. So we're gonna believe in a top deck, and actually, finally it happens. Finally it did happen, so finally I managed to top deck something. Literally. So there we go. That's gonna be Max Potion play and 1 Ultra Ball, which basically puts me in the position where I can grab that Octillery, I can have that Abyssal hand, but more than that, not too many other possibilities. I can Water Duplicate or I can retreat. So there's another Evosoda. There we go, another Greninja. But to be honest with you guys, I'm gonna go with that Cynthia play. And I'm gonna pass that. If he have Guzma available in his hand, he's probably gonna have that Guzma next turn. I can already see it. Maybe it's better not to... I don't have switch cards, that's my biggest concern. We're gonna stay with the Frogadier in the active position. We're just gonna do that. I think it would be much smarter if I just tried to bubble him instead. And then try to pull that Rare Candy Greninja play. Probably he's gonna grab Guzma and try to Guzma my Octillery and start sniping me with the quick dive for like a 50 on the bench. Okay, I'm happy to see Greninja in the active position. I'm happy to see that. He can go for like 120, so that's a huge mistake. That's a misplay of the century. Oh, okay, that's a big steal. That's a big steal. That's a big steal. Okay, so I had a lot of luck this time. Whew. I definitely need to include those escape ropes in this deck next for the next game, no question. So he used Real Blade. How in the world he hit me for like a 140? Oh, because of the strong energy in play. Okay, so my mistake. Yeah, I'm ready to end him down to only 2 cards. And also I'm ready to go with the Shadow Stitching as well. Let's first go with the Giant Water Shuriken. And let's go with that N. Putting him down to only 2 cards is always a nightmare. And I'm ready for the Shadow Stitching. There we go. So he can't use advantage of those Lucarios in play. Yeah, I mean, when you miss energy attachment with Greninja deck, you're more likely that you're gonna lose the game. But I still have Max Potion available, you know, I still have a lot of different chances somehow to win this game, but my biggest concern are those energy cards. That's my biggest concern so far. There we go with Real Blade, so that's the one-hit knockout, so he managed to recover from that quickly. Yeah, I still have that N available. And the question is, can I get it? There is the Brooklet Hill. Since I have so many cards available, I'm gonna go with something like this. How many energies do we have? Only 1. Whew. Are you kidding me? Only 1 energy card? And I need to pull that energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what I need to do? I need to get that energy. And I didn't get it. So basically this game is probably lost. Yeah, it is. It is, because he have another Garchomp on the bench ready for the knockout. Yeah, GG. Even if I Abyssal Cannon get energy right now, it's just too late because I already retreated. So nothing I can do. Shadow Stitch for 40. I mean, I would even deck out anyway, so... Starmie in prize card was actually game loss, and I pulled that Evosoda, so... That's a GG. We're just gonna include 2 escape ropes to the build. Originally, idea with escape ropes was I played escape ropes even when this deck was released. Not too many things that I'm just gonna, you know, remove. I already know what I need to discard in exchange for those cards, and I also added 1 more regular energy card instead of that special energy card, you know. Yeah, I thought there is no way that I can lose the game, but that's because I just, you know, underestimated my opponent, and that's probably something that should never happen, you know. When you disrespect somebody or when you know, discredit someone, it just ends up like this. It's something that's called karma, you know. You just don't want to disrespect or you know, underestimated anybody. Alright, so we have 1 Froakie right there. But overall, if you're gonna play like 10 matchups, Greninja versus Garchomp, Greninja is a much bigger favorite in my opinion, you know. Probably Garchomp will win maybe 2 or 3 games. Or on the other side, Greninja will win like 7, 8, 9 games. It will depend, you know. But in my opinion, it's much smoother and better deck, you know, and faster. Oh, what is going on with these drops today? They're simply unlucky. So my opponent third, what can he do? I see that Xerneas with that new Xerneas GX. 180 overrun, of course, 2020. You can snap on the bench. A little bit weaker than that boss ball, that's for sure. But that Sanctuary GX attack is mind-blowing attack. I mean, you can move all damage counters from all of your Pokemon to your opponent active Pokemon. That's amazing. Literally 7 max potions and just one attack in theory. So couple max potions, and I'm wondering, okay, so right now he decided to attach energy to the Xerneas. There's the XP share as well, and one Cynthia. I don't know. I had very nice hand, but after that end I just lost everything. And next turn my opponent is really close to start knocking out my Froakies. Oh, look at my hand. What a mess. What a mess is this? I mean, Rare Candy? Nope. Wow, that's amazing. Well, we're gonna try to bubble, I mean. What else I can do? Hitting bubble? Okay, at least it's something, but if there's gonna be Xerneas break, I'm gonna be knocked out anyway, so bubble might not be super effective, as it looks, at least for now. Okay. Guzma can work, for example. And there it is. So, as expected, it's gonna be knocked from that live stream. Yeah, I mean, at least I can play Escape Rope. But it's probably just gonna be for another Xerneas anyway. Not worth to waste it. Let's just better keep that Escape Rope for the late game and for those John Water Shurikens. Alright, 120. I have Rescue Stretcher, so I'm gonna immediately recover that Froakie. In case of the brick. Starmie is a top deck. Not a good top deck. I still want to see top deck and something like Stadium, so I can, you know, basically put another Froakie on the bench. Wow, amazing. Amazing what's gonna happen. Not good at all. Literally only thing I can do. I rely on the bubble right now. I'm leaning on the bubble right now, so there we go. Hands of the coin flip, nothing in my hand, not even Drow Supporter. There's a Fairy Garden, so he can have that retreat for free, but not under the special condition. But we're gonna see that Wonder Tag Guzma play for the knockout against my Froakie without energy. Okay, at least I'm forcing my opponent to lose those Guzmas in the early game in order to knock out my Froakies instead of the Greninjas maybe in the late game. But who knows if there's even gonna be a late game. So I'm not playing Bridget in this deck, you know, because I'm playing triple Brooklet Hill. This is the only reason why I'm not running Bridget. But I had very powerful opening hand, and I just don't know why mess with it, you know. The opening hand was a gorgeous thing, and I just decided to mess with it, you know. I just play that hand and I lose everything, literally. And the top deck is... wow. You know, right now when I don't need energy cards, I'm pulling them like crazy. And when I used to need them, I didn't get any of them. So I'm just gonna go with that bubble. Okay, so not gonna happen 3 times in a row. So I'm gonna have one more chance to bubble next turn, literally. Not good at all. It's not that it's not that you need multiple Froakies in play, you know, you just need one Frogadier, because Frogadier can water duplicate and put up to 3 more Frogadiers from your deck to your bench. So that's the reason why Bridget is not that necessary in this deck, you know. It's a good card, no doubt about it, but it's not that you need it so badly. Okay, at least I can try one more time with the bubble. And one more time Tails. It's just insane what's happening today. The first 2 games was under the plan, you know, but every game after that, and there's another Guzma even, so he have even another Guzma for that throw. Oh no, he decides to go for the Staryu instead of the Froakie. 180, he's already doing so many damage counters. I mean, even if I can set up those Greninjas in play, it's not gonna be super effective anymore. Well, finally something. And that's the Ultra Ball. Too late. If somebody gonna ask me, a little bit too late. Water duplicate right now for like 2 more frogs, and he had that live stream available. Nah, it just bricked. Hopefully the next game is gonna be better. No, this is not the GX version of the deck that I used to play a couple days ago. This is just a pure Greninja Break deck, you know. It's just a pure Greninja Break deck that I'm playing today. Let's bubble one more time for the fun. Fun fact, you know. Escape rope. We can do that. We can bubble for fun. Now we can't. So 2 bubbles, 2 Guzmas. And then no Drought Supporter, no Octillery, and live stream for 200, nearly 200, for 180. Okay, hopefully next game is gonna be better. Let's see what we can do. Oh, so I'm starting first. Okay, what we can get? Well, nothing, just a Brooklet Hill without Froakie. I love when I start with the Staryu, you know, just because I can have it for a trader available. And speaking about Staryu, I'm starting with it. But nothing else on the list. Whew. Just, you know, Froakie without Ultra Ball or Energy. Okay, Brooklet Hill top deck, always good. I don't want to get easy knockout, so I'm gonna retreat onto my Froakie and pass the turn, because with double Course Energy and something like Tapu Lele on the bench, my opponent can hit for like a 40. And I don't want to see that. Next turn I'm going with my Brooklet Hill for that Remoraid, so I can have that Octillery in play. And there is a strong energy already, alright, no wonder. Oh, so Phoenix Blaze, thanks for following on Twitch, I really appreciate. Thanks a lot. For those who's watching on YouTube, you can also check me on the Twitch, you know where you can find me. And follow, I would really appreciate that. Oh, nice top deck. It's a Frogadier. But I don't know if it's worth to put him in play. I would say it's not. I would say it's not. If I put him on the bench, I can see that Lycanroc play. If I put him in the active position, I can see that double Course Energy knockout play. So none of these two things are gonna help me. So there is the Zoroark GX ×2, so he can start to use those traits. Alright, so we have a couple traits. Of course, you always want to discard necessary cards from your hand, like a Brigitte, Choice Band, because you're playing against Greninja, you're not gonna need Choice Band. Discarding again, maybe not a good thing, especially for the late game, especially against Greninja. But if your opponent manages to set up Octillery, it's not gonna be super effective anyways. So it looks like he can't get himself energy, and it might be that he had that N in his hand that he really don't want to play. Oh, there's double Course Energy. The moment I mentioned that energy, he just find it. Oh, even worse, there's a Pearl City as well. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? And Radio's bidding for like 100. Fair enough, I would say. Oh, energy is a top deck. Okay, at least I can have one water duplicate. What? Oh, come on, come on, come on, give me something good. This is not good. This is not good at all. I mean, triple Greninja break in my hand. Triple G, you know, that's not good. That's not good. That's not how you win the game. So we have another trade available. Okay, at least next turn I can use 2 cards from my hand theoretically. I can evolve my Greninja, plus I can put that Froakie from Disco Pile onto my bench. And I might be able to survive one more turn here, who knows. There's a Guzma for Octillery, so he realized that Octillery is a huge threat, so he just wants to knock him out. Or maybe there's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be knockout. So he can go for like 100, which means that he wants to knock out my Octillery from play and prevent me from taking that Abyssal hand, you know. But it's okay. It's okay, especially because I have a Greninja available for the Shadow Stitch next turn, meaning that I can hit my opponent for like a 40 and prevent him from dealing damage with his Mew, for example, which is important thing. Which is really important thing. Top deck is Cynthia. Okay, that's much better, because right now I can also shuffle back that Remoraid, Octillery and Froakie. I can use Cynthia and finally hope to get something good. Okay, I have Remoraid, so it's not that bad. Yeah, there's literally one more option to do, and that's to put another Greninja in play, so I can have the GX in play next turn theoretically, and I'm ready for the Shadow Stitching. So finally something good. Finally something good. Huh, who knows? He decides to concede. He decided to concede. We're gonna go with another game. So, a -2 Rare Candy for 2 Professor Sycamore for not bricking. Not bad idea. Not bad idea. I can also try that. But to be honest, it turns out that I'm only breaking here on TCGO. I played like 8 games in real life with this deck and I only bricked once versus the goalie support in the game number 2. Literally any other game was just, you know, pure madness. But for example, if this Rare Candy is Professor Sycamore right now, I would have fresh hand of 7, but since it's not, I don't have it. But I can smack my opponent for like 40 and pass the turn, you know, being dunked from Volcanion Power Heater probably. We're gonna try it, that's for sure. So we have a Ultra Ball. Not too many good cards. Yeah, I'm smacking him for like a 40. Who knows? Maybe he missed that power heater, but I don't think that's gonna happen. There's a Flowstone and Sycamore for 7. Alright, so he can discard an entire hand and draw 7 cards. Choice been in Tapu Lele discard, so he had Tapu Lele, for example. Unfortunately, with Volcanion and Turtonator, you can't play Bridget, but you can use something like Pokemon Fan Club. Yeah, Fan Club might be a future Bridget, but I don't know how good Fan Club is gonna be in post-rotation. Seriously, 3 energies and Turtonator already for the Bright Flame and 160. Well, that's a huge steal right there. That's the steal of the game. Nice, I have Escape Rope. But I'm not gonna play this turn, I'm just gonna go for the next turn with Escape Rope play. I'm expecting to get 20 from the Shell Trap, and then I'm gonna retreat. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, Brooklet Hill, nice. Oh, there we go with the end. So, it looks like how this Octillery probably gonna survive in the active spot. I just needs to get that Escape Rope so I can retreat him from the active position in order to use that Water Duplicate. How the things looks right now, next turn I can have 2 Ultra Balls plus a Beazle Hand plus Cynthia. So a lot of resources to draw. And hopefully one of them is gonna be that Escape Rope as well. Speaking about Escape Rope, there's just a Choice Band top deck. So one more Ultra Ball for one more Froakie. Then one Beazle Hand. For that Timer Ball. Really doesn't matter too much. I can only evolve one of my Frogadiers and then I can only use that Cynthia play. I really want to save that Octillery if it's possible, but I need that escape rope and I couldn't get it. So I'm gonna pass the turn. Yep. Alright, so there is a Floatstone and a Guzma play, so he wants to target my Frogadier right now. That's a fair enough. He also have that Instruct. Alright, so next turn can be potentially good turn, especially because I can get one of my Greninjas earlier in play by that Rare Candy play. I can also evolve other Froakie to the Frogadier, plus I can end my opponent to 4 cards, and I can Shadow Stitch him, which is a very, very important thing. More than that, the question is, can he even knock out my Frogadier? I didn't see how many damage increase for this Pokemon. Damage increase from this Pokemon. Okay, so he looks like... I'm not sure how many, did he use 2 or 1 Steam Up? Oh, so he hit me only for 50. Okay, fair enough. Only 50. Cool. I need to use one Abyssal Hand so I can Ultra Ball. Hopefully with that N, I'm not gonna miss that another Greninja. If I miss it, I can still retreat, but it's not gonna be good anyway. And I miss it. Oh, but at least I have Escape Rope available. Wow, interesting. I guess I'm gonna play that Escape Rope. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Escape Rope. Literally the best thing I can do. I can always retreat for free if I want. I can see this Staryu in the active position promoted. At least I can take prize cards, so not bad, you know. Plus I can return that Greninja back to my hand if he knock it out. Overall, not that bad. Yeah, as expected, Staryu promoted to the front. Shadow Stitch is more than enough. I hit it for 40, which means that he definitely needs to knock me out with that Turtonator. That Turtonator on the other side with the Choice Band can't be one hit knocked out really, really easy. Is it worth for my opponent to use the Shell Trap? I don't believe. He simply needs to gamble. He needs to go for 160 and pray that I'm not gonna hit that Choice Band, and that's it. Because if I hit it, I can go for like 180. And when you can hit your opponent for 180, you're just good to go, you know. Oh, another Max Potion top deck. Nice. Alright, so 2 Greninjas. Cynthia play. Choice Band, 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 no Choice Band. Oh my gosh. Put a Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand. Let it be Greninja Break. Yeah, Moonlight Slash at least. Gonna hit for 160. Next turn I can knock out the Tornado with one John Water Shuriken, so it's okay. Then I'm gonna have a Rare Candy play to the Greninja. Then I'm gonna have Greninja Break play, and things are gonna be much better. So, Bright Flame doing 160 damage. Again, I can recover that Greninja back to my hand. And there is the Rare Candy play for my Greninja, as well as the Greninja Break. So that's gonna be one John Water Shuriken for the knockout against that Turtonator, who's gonna be promoted to the active position. I might expect to see that Oranguru because he cannot be one-hit knockout from my opponent's side. So I'm hoping to see, of course, Volcanion, but probably he's gonna promote Oranguru. Probably he's just gonna try to use that. What I can do on the other side? I can play Ultra Ball to see what I have left in my deck. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Cynthia and one Greninja to be discarded. Okay, this looks like a perfect hand right now. I can also draw 2 more cards by the Abyssal hand. And there is a Rescue Stretcher as well. So let's just shuffle back these 3 bad boys. And let's go with the Moonlight Slash for like 120. And that's the GG. Unfortunately for the fire decks, Greninja is just too much. It's just too much. So there is a Brooklet Hill. And Cynthia play. And I think how this is probably a game over. I mean, maybe it's not yet, but I just need, you know, 1 energy card and I can hit my opponent literally for like 220. And if I can go for 220, I can one-hit knock out that Volcanion EX, even with the Fighting Fury belt. Last couple months, I used to play the most Greninja and Volcanion deck. Those 2 decks I know a lot, you know. I used to play a lot Volcanion. It's a very nice deck, it's still powerful till today. I don't know why actually more people don't try to play Volcanion. I don't know why everybody's focusing on that Buzzball deck. I mean, Volcanion can also be very good. The problem for Volcanion is that 3 energy cost, you know, and that's the only attack that he literally have, you know, Volcanic hit. And it can't one-hit knock out anything without, you know, a couple more steam ups. And in addition to that, Fighting Fury Belt or maybe Choice Band. Maybe because of that. I mean, it's not easy to hit 3 energy cards, that's for sure. So he decided to pass the turn, and I'm gonna go with Staryu on the bench. I don't know if I can still play that Evosoda. I don't know if there is another Frogadier. Yes, it is. And literally only energy card is needed. So Abyssal Hint. And there is the energy, but there is also Choice Band as well. So all I really need is that Moonlight Slash, and I don't even, yeah, I actually need to return that energy into my hand because of the Fighting Fury Belt, and that's 220, that's enough for the knockout. That's the GG. Unfortunately, because of the weakness, my opponent was not able to do too much in this matchup. But overall, decent performance from Greninja in today's live stream, you know. Played overall 7 games, won 3 times. I still feel it's much better deck. It's much better, smaller deck than as it shows. Okay, not too many players actually watching today's live stream. Alright, this time I lost the coin flip, so who's gonna start first? My opponent. Alright. Those type of the hands I like mostly. Another Necrozma. Interesting. It's 3rd today. Alright, so first Mysterious Treasure for the first Tapu Lele in play, and I wouldn't be surprised to see first Bridget as well. And there it is, Bridget for 3 more basic Pokemons, probably 2 more Inkays and maybe 1 Necrozma, probably the one with that invasion ability. As expected. But I don't know, Necrozma have auto loss against Greninja in my opinion. The only way to win Greninja with Necrozma is to play Beast Rings. This is literally the only way that you can win. I simply don't see another way. I simply don't see it. I don't know for another way. I just don't know. I don't see another way. There we go with the bubble. Tails in the coin flip. Okay. So, 2 Melamars and Psychic Recharge. Will there be enough resources for my opponent to one-hit knock out that Froakie on the turn 2? I'm expecting to see enough resources, to be honest. 2 prize cards, in my opinion, is the most this deck can take, and after that Shadow Stage just completely destroyed, you know, it just shut it down. But who knows, maybe my opponent plays Beast Rings. I don't know, I simply don't know. I also don't know if he plays that Giratina promo that can also turn off that Greninja Break. But still, Shadow Stitching is just too much, you know. So Fedstar just subscribed on my YouTube. Thanks a lot for subscribing. I really appreciate that. You're the best. I'm happy with 2 more Frogadiers. I have Octillery next turn, so I'm just gonna put that Greninja Choice Band, then I'm gonna go with a Beazle Hand and you know, he can try to power up another Necrozma if he can. There is a Cynthia play. And the Max Potion, Max Elixir, not a Max Potion, and 120 from that, you know, Dark Flash. So what we can do this turn? Well, I guess I can start to apply some pressure to my opponent simply by playing those John Water Shurikens and Shadow Stitchings. It's not that he have energies in his discard pile, so I'm thinking maybe about just Moonlight Slash. Let's see first what we can get with the Beazle Hand. Splash Energy. Nice. Alright, so I'm ready to go with the Cynthia. Not gonna bother playing that Ultra Ball for now. Shadow Stitch for 70. Or Moonlight Slash for 90. Shadow Stitch all night long. I still need like John Water Shuriken and another Shadow Stitch. It's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. So there is the Field Blower, and I lost both choice bands. And there's a Dark Flash for 120. Well, Rare Candy, not needed. Missing only 1 card, and that's a energy, and luckily I get it. I also get a Field Blower, but I'm gonna need to use it. So John Water Shuriken for like 130, and if I go with the Shadow Stitching, it won't be enough. But since I still have that, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Shadow Stitching. Because he can't knock me out, where on the other side I might be able to knock him out next turn. There's a Guzma, so he can go for the 1 prize against Staryu or Octillery. He decided to go for the Staryu. Personally, I would go for Octillery. So I'm actually happy with that decision and outcome. There is the Brooklet Hill as well. And it will be a Beazle Hand for 3. I just literally need 1 energy card, which I couldn't get in play. And this time I can definitely use that Moonlight Slash. Since I know that my opponent can't deal more than 120, I can simply do something like this. Next turn I can throw John Water Shuriken, take knockout against his Dark Downwing Necrozma on the bench, hope to pull one more energy, and then I can hit also this Necrozma for the one-hit knockout. And then... oh, so he decided to retreat on the top level so he can use Tapu Cure GX. That's the well played. That's a thumbs up for this play. I really like this play. That's amazing. I didn't expect to see something like this, to be honest. If you ask me if I expect something like this, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. That's just amazing. Well played for this. That was a brilliant play. So what do we have here? There's a Rescue Stretcher and only two more energy cards, meaning only one thing. I really need to think twice. What should I go for knockout? Okay, so I'm searching for a Rescue Stretcher, which I couldn't get. So I'm gonna go with the Shadow Stitching. I could have knocked against this Tapu Lele right now, but decided better not to do it. At least not for now. If he decides to retreat, I can always knock it out next turn, you know. At least I can prevent my opponent from, you know, attaching extra energy. Plus I have potential to... yeah, that Rescue Stretcher is very important for me because I need those Staryus. I need to recover that Staryu because I'm running out of the resources, I'm running out of the energy cards. And that's my biggest concern right now, so I have another Escape Rope available. And one more energy card left. Only one more energy card left. So let's see, Escape Rope. What's gonna be promoted from his side? So, how I feel about this deck against current meta, I feel really comfortable. I really like this deck against current meta, to be honest. It's a really nice deck, you know. It's a very powerful deck. So finally there's a Rescue Stretcher. Okay, so I'm ready with the Shadow Stitching. I have one more Escape Rope. Unfortunately, I cannot trade cards from this account because I can't trade. My trade is just locked, so I do have that Wrangler that you asked for, but I simply can't trade, unfortunately. So there is a Flowstone, and this is gonna be 120 damage from my opponent's side of the field. I simply need that Staryu so badly. And who knows, maybe a miracle happens for my opponent. Maybe he managed to win this game. As it looks right now, it's definitely not good for me. So there is a Brooklet Hill for that Staryu. I'm desperately trying to put it in play. Once again, I'm not gonna play Escape Rope. I'm just gonna go with the Shadow Stitch. With the Shadow Stitch. Can't do nothing else. I just hope he don't have... If he have Guzma, I can concede. There is a Flowstone. If he knocks out my Staryu, then the game is over. There is the Ultra Ball. Alright, so you don't have it yet. I personally think that this deck is good. It's a consistent... This deck list is good. If you have Greninja in real life, you should definitely try to use this deck list in real life. Maybe you should, you know, try to tech it a little bit, tweak it to your local league, tweak it so you can have, you know, much better matchup against certain decks, you know, and you're gonna be good. I'm 100% positive you're gonna be happy with this deck list. You can't miss with this deck list. It's a very powerful deck list, in my opinion. Okay, let's throw some shurikens right now. Ooh, finally I managed to recover some of the energy cards. Whew. Finally, John Water Shuriken throwing to my opponent top lane. So I can take 2 prize cards, there we go. Another Froakie, another Water Energy, very important energy. Very important energy. Time to retreat, time to throw another John Water Shuriken. I think I can play that Cynthia, why not? Okay, that's cool. So this needs to be another Shadow Stitching. There we go. Oh, Guzma play. Okay. Will it be for Starmie? So he realized that he needs to knock that Starmie out. And he's moving down to only 1 prize. Luckily, I have, you know, enough resources to take the knockout here. So what I need to do, basically, I need to use 2 John Water Shurikens to knock out that Necrozma from the bench. Let me count energies. Oh, 6 energies. I still have like 1 more left. And he have like 1 prize card left. Energy is not in my deck, which actually consider me a little bit. But it's in my prize cards, so I still might be able to pull it. Oh, nope, and a rescue stretcher, oh boy. That's not good. We can still win this game. We can still win this game. How many Guzmas did he play? Oh, 2 of them. I still didn't use my supporter card. I can still win. But I locked that bench down to, you know, Froakies, so I can't put that Shadow Stitching anyways. Nah, GG, I lost this game actually. I made a mistake putting that other Froakie on the bench, you know. Oh, he have Guzma actually. So I add him to Guzma for the game. So Dark Flash for like 120. Very intense battle till the end, but at the end he bring the victory on his side. Okay, I'm actually happy with the deck performance. I'm actually happy with today's live stream. I hope you guys enjoy watching it. So yeah, I'm gonna show you the deck list that I actually use today, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about it. Maybe gonna say a couple of words, what you can, you know, discard, what you can consider tagging inside. For example, you can just, you know, play without timer balls, and then you can add more Evosodas. So for example, you can try to go with something like, I don't know, 4 Brooklet Hills. You can go with 4 Evosodas if you want, or you can go maybe without Octillery. You know, you can go simply without Octillery. You can play something like double Staryu. Let's say you can play double Staryu, triple Froakie, and then you can also tag something interesting inside, which is called a Talonflame. You know, Talonflame is also an interesting card for this deck as well. So you can, for example, play 4 Talonflames, 3 Froakies, and you can go maybe with 1 Staryu, 1 Starmie, you know, lineup. In that case, you might not gonna need 4 Brooklet Hills. You can even be happy with 2 of them, and you can simply have, you know, also pretty consistent deck list with doing something like this, you know, because if you start with a Talonflame, you'll be able to use that Aeroblaze for 40, maybe even for 70 with the Choice Band, and you'll be in the position to search your deck for any 2 cards that you want. Again, with the Brooklet Hills and the Ultra Balls, you're still going to be able, you know, to search your deck for any Pokemon you like. But I don't know, maybe I would prefer going with just, you know, 3 Evosodas and maybe 4 and 3 Brooklet Hills, so you can have greater chance to start with the Brooklet Hill instead of the Evosoda in the opening hand in exchange to get that Froakie, you know, double Froakie in place, so we can have that turn 2 Frogadier 100%. Escape ropes, in that case, it's probably not going to be needed. It's not going to be worth to play them, so even those escape ropes can be substituted for something else, for example. Then you can even run something like this, or you can even consider going with 4 Froakies as you should. Maybe you can even try to, you know, take more rare candies. It really depends. You really need to test a lot of this deck because it can be built in a lot of different ways and options. I didn't play with the Talonflame on my last tournament. I might consider doing it, but as it is right now, I simply like it as it was. So that's gonna be it for today's live stream. I really appreciate everyone who supported and watched it. So thank you guys a lot. I really appreciate that. We'll see you definitely next time, probably tomorrow. Also, you can check my latest upload that I did today. Wednesday standard budget deck. I played with Alolan Marowak featuring Alolan Ninetales, so this deck is also uploaded to my YouTube channel, so make sure to check that and hit the likes up if you like it, of course, or maybe thumbs down if you didn't like it. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, have a nice day or have a nice rest of the night wherever you are. We'll see you next time.